Hi, it is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. Okay, let's see what we have here. Of course, we got two things going on here. All right, so we got a little bit to talk about today. I'm going to wait for some people to come on board before we get into our conversation. And please forgive me if we have any mishaps. I just learned today that this works so much better if I take the cover to my phone off. So that was a last minute decision. I am still working on it's gotten much larger. And whereas I should have finished the second skiing yesterday, I didn't. That's what I have left. So I should get the third skein in today. First of all, when you come in, let me know how you're doing. How are you feeling? Hey, Michelle, how are you? How are you feeling today, love? I wrote notes. Of course, you know that. I have notes about what we're discussing today. And today, honestly, I want to talk about something that we experience every day, and that's choices and consequences. Let that settle for a second. And even though we know what choices are, I still wanted to read you dictionary.com's definition of choices. And while I'm doing that, just simply write down in the comments two choices that you've made today. Okay, according to dictionary.com, a choice is an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. Okay? Take, for instance, when I woke up this morning, as every morning, I was faced with two decisions or two choices, I'm sorry. Um, lay there in bed or get up. Well, I decided I wanted peanuts. And I didn't have any peanuts in the house. So I had to go to the store and get some peanuts, which meant I had to get up, which is the summer learning tree, and get the next 2 weeks. Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful. But then when I came home, I was faced with what my next move was for the day. And I chose to work on a project that almost left me bald in my temples last night. And whereas I figured out how to add one part, then I couldn't get the two parts to come together. So I worked on that until I gave myself a time. I chose to work on that until the time I allotted. And then I made the decision of what I wanted to talk about today and how it played so well into how the rest of my day is going to go, because everything is presented with more than one possibility. It's like I have the ability to say that I'm not going live today, but I wanted to go live because I wanted to talk about making intentional choices. Intentional choices. And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, I normally take fluid pills. Well, if you know anything about medications, once they get in your system and they've been in your system for so long, just because you run out doesn't mean that they're out of your system right away. Some medications can take up to months to finally leave your system. So, knowing that I was on such a high dose of furosemide, which is a fluid pill, for so long, my body is accustomed to whatever I drink. Very shortly after, I have to go to the bathroom. So, do I, knowing that I haven't taken a fluid pill and knowing that it's not urgent, just sit here until the urgency rises a little more, or do I go ahead onto the bathroom? Sounds like a simple choice. Um, Sometimes I'm not allowed to make that intentional choice because it'll hit hard. And I either go or I have an accident. And that is what I choose to call an unintentional choice. Yeah, you got to go. I mean, it is what it is. Um, Another thing in fiddling with setting up for today, finding out that my phone actually works better doing the lives. I'm sorry, another choice. Mouth is dry. Excuse me, and thank you. But in fiddling with the phone, I always try to set up the phone in the holder a few minutes early. So, because it takes a long time to adjust it. So, if anything does happen, it'll happen before the live starts. Lo and behold, the whole phone fell out. And in me trying to push it back in there, I came to another conclusion in looking at the dynamics and realized that, okay, I have to take my case off before I put my phone in there. This is too much of a strain on the brackets. And after all this time, I just realized that today. Some of the choices that I wanted to talk about was like life's choices. You know, let's take marriage, for instance. Am I the marrying type? Do I even want to get married? You know, me personally, I've been down that road twice. I've always seen myself as a wife, and I would love to experience that again, but only with the right husband. If he doesn't come along, then it's not going to happen. And I'm perfectly happy with that. Um, Along with that, if you meet the right person, um, are you going to move to where they are? Or are they going to move to where you are? And Michelle says, voice is a learning opportunity. Yes, yes. But you know, where are you gonna live? Are you gonna choose someplace altogether different? Are you gonna live in another state or stay where you are? You know, is it was it a long distance relationship? There are so many, many choices in that and that alone. In even in choosing your mate. You know, here nowadays, I've noticed over the years there is no such thing as dating. For some reason, once you exchange glances and express interest in each other, there is a little sense of entitlement that goes along with that. I am old school. I don't agree with that. And I don't go along with that. People choose to call you names when you put yourself in a position to make decisions, and I don't care about the name calling. I need to do what's right for me. Yeah, I figured you had choices, huh? Yeah, I figured you meant choices. But if I express interest in, say, a gentleman that lives in the complex, which I've always been told that you don't eat and defecate in the same place. So, but I'm saying if I were to meet somebody out here and, keeping that thought in the back of my mind that this doesn't happen in the same place, then I may meet someone else. Say I go to Walmart and I meet someone from a different city, or in one of my outings, I meet someone from another state, say back home in Carolina. Then I need to see what these individuals have to offer me, and what could I possibly have to offer them. How would our lives mesh together? Maybe we weren't meant to do anything but give flirty little glances to each other, or run into each other every now and then, or just talk on the phone. Maybe that's all that was meant. um, I know what I need. I know that it'll be very hard to find what I need. So I need someone who can physically take care of me. I know that I cannot get around very long on my own. So all the things that I like to do in my mind, he's going to have to be creative, because I like going out. I like venturing out. I know I can't hike anymore, and I love to hike. I can go fishing, but we're going to have to figure out how we can do that. How can I get my scooter in the vehicle so that we can, because once you get to a pier nowadays, you've got to walk down the pier. And bless my heart, the walk to the payment booth would exasperate me. I'd be at the payment booth like, and then to move forward from there. And you don't fish right around the payment booth. You got to go out a little ways. So I know that I would have to meet somebody who's very patient, who's very understanding, who's, like I said, is creative, adventurous at the same time, who likes to do things as a couple, but who also has their own life, because I don't need them in my face every day. I used to always want a military man because I knew he was going to be gone, and it would give me the opportunity to miss him. I still feel that way. But not just in marriage, but in careers. What type of job do you want? Here again, are you going to have to relocate? What is the pay? What type of hours do they have to offer? Are you going to be on call, or is it a set schedule? Are you being paid by the hour, or are you being paid salary? How far do you have to travel, excuse me, to get to this job? Is it something that you can do remotely? So there are a lot of things that we face in life. Education is beyond high school, something that I really want to look into. And if I do, what college do I want to go to? What type of college life do I want to have? Do I want to commute, or do I want to experience the full college life? Um, what is my course of study? How far do I want to go with that course of study? Do I want to go into an internship afterwards and enhance my chances of getting more alphabets behind my name? Or what is it that I want to do? There more choices, more choices, more and more choices. And then in life itself, demographics. Once you get out on your own, do you want to stay in the small town that you're in? Is it okay where you live? Are you going to live with your parents? Um, and, I'm not saying either is good or bad. It's based on the individual. Don't ever let someone else influence. Okay, Michelle. But don't ever let someone else influence your choices. You can ask for advice, but ultimately your choices are up to you. You have to make those decisions. You have to buckle down and decide, is this right for me? Tell me, am I right about it, Michelle? And I do know that it's coming up on lunchtime. I get it. I already got it. But then I wanted to talk about, and I hope I'm not talking too fast. I hope that I'm not talking. When I said that we shouldn't let others influence our decisions, or let them make our decisions for us. I remember close to the end of the conversation when you told me you were leaving me on my own to do what I was doing, and it was amazing how that paralleled what you said. But I get it. I get it. But as far as our crafting is concerned, you like last year, was it last year? Was it earlier this year? I think it was earlier this year. I decided to relearn how to knit. And I was doing really, 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 really well. And it's comfortable and I can do it without thinking. And, there's a lot of good in it. I decided to, in making my channel, explore different aspects of crocheting, and I've done that. But I also determined that I miss only making blankets. I miss what they call tapestry crocheting. There's another name for it. I call it graph canning because ultimately that's what you're doing. You're graphing designs on this canvas that you're creating as you go. And yes, ma'am, Mama Bird has definitely given me the opportunity to fly. And right now, I have flown into a glass. I didn't break my neck on my wings, but I'm pacing back and forth on somebody's Windexed patio trying to figure out how to piece two and one together. I got one part connected to the other part. I got the body connected to the intro. I just can't get the outro connected to it. Just a tad bit frustrated. And then I think I lost my intro because I hit the wrong button, but it's okay because I created another whole intro and it's absolutely stunning and beautiful. And Michelle said one step at a time. Okay. 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 So back to the graph canning. I've made the decision to do more graph canning. Um, Graph canning, one reason I wanted to step away from it is because not only did I want to expand the crocheting business, I wanted to incorporate the crocheting business with being a content creator. And I knew that that meant that I had to do more than just blankets. But ding, graph canning is my niche. Graph canning blankets, I should say. It's my niche. That's where I'm comfortable. Um, this, I showed at the beginning how much I had left of this skein. And of course, that's all I have left now. And then I'll be going on to skein number 3. You can see that I don't have but 3 skeins left. And honestly, it only takes a couple of hours of straight crocheting to go through a skein. And I love watching this turn into this. I absolutely love it. Um, and that's more than a comfort zone for me. That's Michelle says, stop trying to run. No one is chasing you. Okay. This is one of, for me, that I call an unintentional choice because it's kind of a lifestyle. It's hard to stop, take a breather, and reapproach it. It's more like, I was looking at Terrell. He had Cynthia Erivo on his podcast last night, and he asked her, when you mess up, what do you do? And she could not have described me any better. She said, a lot of people choose to go back and try to fix it. She said, I learned how to fix it from that point and move forward. And that's kind of like me. A lot of things I feel like if I go back, then I'm backtracking and I'm losing ground. And for some reason, I throw everything in my life into the equation. Like, I look at the fact that I'm 61, not 16. I don't have my whole life to get it right. I mean, that's being factual, and not being morbid. Um, I have a lot of health issues. A lot of them are irreversible. So it's not like I'm going into this with a clean slate. Um, I look at where I live and the fact that they go up on the rent every year. Is this feasible for me? They're throwing me into a situation kind of like I have to stay here because they're not affording me the opportunity to save and move elsewhere. But I would love for me and my family to be elsewhere. This little space is fine. We're not accustomed to apartment living. We are not accustomed to being attached to people. We're accustomed to single family dwellings. Do I want to buy a house at 61? Hell no. No. If my daughter would like to buy a house, I commend her and I would push her and I would tell her to go for it. And I would do everything in my power to help her. I'd be there with her if she wanted me to be. The whole gamut. I really, really would. Um, but it's not. Long time ago, another choice that I made. I have never wanted to own a house. People say that it can do so much for your credit and it can put you in different brackets. But what good is that bracket when it brings so much debt? Anything goes wrong in that house, it's your responsibility. and then when life situations come up, lots of times you have to take out another mortgage, or go into the equity of your home. And I don't see that as I never saw that as a forward road for me. Um, I have always felt that if the plumbing, and I look at big problems, if I need another roof, to the landlord. Something goes wrong with the plumbing, to the landlord. I don't mind cutting the grass. I'd have to mask up and suit up like I lived in Antarctica or something, but it's not something that I mind doing. But when they got big trees and stuff that need to be cut down, tell the landlord, you know, ramp as opposed to stairs, tell the landlord. I don't, I look at the struggles that friends and family have gone through as far as home ownership, um, outgrowing the home, um, a whole lot of issues that have happened, even in renting homes. But it's been so much easier to tell the landlord than it has been to try to struggle and come up with the funds to fix whatever. So yeah, that's my choice. That's my rationale that comes with the decision that I made. The flip side of choices is consequences. Every single choice you make in life comes with a consequence, whether it be positive or negative. When I feel the urge to go to the bathroom to relieve my bladder, if I choose to sit here too long, I'm going to have an accident. If I choose to get up and go to the bathroom, I'm going to have a good day, But back to choices as it pertains to our craft. You look at the fact that lots of times crafting is a hobby. It's just something that we enjoy doing. And then you have to make a decision whether you want to leave it as a hobby or if you want to turn it into a business. There's a lot involved in turning a craft into a business. Um, and sometimes it can deter people from making that jump. Um, I personally find it fascinating whenever I sell anything. It's like a big yay for me. Because I learned a long time ago in my love for making blankets, I don't live in the right area to sell blankets. I've I'm not what I consider computer savvy, so I have held back on creating a website. Excuse me, I held back for a while and then I tried it. And then I realized just how much was involved in trying to create or when trying to build a website. And I was like, Jesus, my brain is going to explode. All I want to do is post pictures of the blankets that I have, let people, and then it's whether it's same thing that we do here when we have contests, whether or not you're going to keep it national or go international, um, how much are you going to charge, whether or not people understand your pricing, and what I have found is that generally only other crafters or people who appreciate crafts understand the logic behind the prices. When you give people a price of your work, your hard earned work, your hard work, the first thing they say is, "Woo, oh my God, that's expensive." Well, when I just invested 28 hours of my time in making this, I'm sitting up cross eyed, missing my TV shows, you know, uh, not cooking dinner, not eating, missing out on things that I might do with friends, or being the brunt of the jokes because oh my God, every time she comes, she has her crocheting with her. Ha 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 ha. Which all of that I've gotten over. But when you talk about how expensive it is, first of all, yarn ain't cheap. Yarn is not cheap at all. I had a young lady who is my god sister, put it out there, called me 4 years ago and she wanted a full length cardigan, all black. Now, when she called and asked me about this, it was around this time of year. Nope, 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 nope. It was like February, actually. Around here, it's hard to find black because you're coming into spring. They got a lot of spring colors out. They have a little bit of black, but not a whole lot. And this is Walmart, Michael's, then Joann's, Dollar Tree, uh, several other places. I mean, even when I tried to go online and see how much I could get, and you try to get it all together. And when I gave her a price, I literally gave her the price of the yarn, and she went spastic. She thought it was too much. I said, "Oh, so you want me to foot the cost of the yarn and make it and gift it to you?" She goes, "No, I'm willing to pay for it." I'm like, "Well, the yarn alone is going to cost you yada yada yada." She was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Yes, yeah, you don't take one skein of yarn and create something that big. And she and I, uh, she had gastric bypass surgery, so she's smaller now, but not that much smaller than me, and she's taller, and it she wanted y'all from nape to ankle. She wanted this long cardigan with a collar with cuffs, and she's like, "I'll give you 150 for the whole thing." Baby, 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 baby. Mm-mm. At that time, a skein of yarn was, and I was looking at Karen 1 pound was 11.99. So say $12. And to make it for a big girl, you're looking at one, two, three. You were looking at least seven of those. At least seven of those. But me, I would go eight, maybe nine, just to be on the safe side. So really, $110 for the yarn, and you were looking at me making it for 150. No, no, that exactly. Michelle said it's a nope for me. Exactly. I feel you on every level. But like I said, when you're faced with things like that, or another situation that happened to me a few years ago, I had a cousin who really, really, really expressed interest in wanting a personalized spread and shams. And she made her first down payment, which I let everybody know it's a 25% non refundable down payment because I'm going to get your yarn or I'm ordering the yarn And even if it's a situation where I can take the yarn back, I put wear and tear on the car. I have taken away from my time, time that I could be doing something else. So please understand that that first down payment is non-refundable. So she gave me her money. I gave her the family discount. No, I didn't do like the sweater. I mean, straight up, it was $600 straight off the bat. So she sends me her 150. She really wants this. And every 2 weeks, she's going to send me more. So I figure, okay, she showed good faith. I ordered the, what is it, robin egg? What's the colorway? Robin egg and black. Got those, made it outright. Her name's in it, everything. And the Bible quote that she wanted in it, the whole gamut. It's hers. If y'all saw the second payment I did, never got, won't answer phone calls, won't answer text messages, blocked me on Facebook, won't come to any more of the family reunions. And I'm like, no, that's childish. That, just I don't have it right now. I don't have a way to, we will, we might work something out. It is a beautiful color. It is truly a beautiful color. And after ordering 6 skeins of it and the 2 black, it was a pretty big blanket. It really was. And then to make the whole thing. And when I do those, I do them in single crochet. This one, moss stitch. Won't take long at all. Imagine it in single crochet without that little space in the middle. It takes time. I love doing them though because I love seeing the build up, especially of the words. It just it fascinates me to no end. One of the reasons I became a carpenter. I love seeing that wood turn into a structure. And it's the same thing with crocheting. I love seeing this yarn turn into something absolutely stunning. So, and I know Michelle says 100% payment or I don't start. And sometimes a debt is the price one pays to get rid of a problem. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. You're right. But you kind of hope in situations like that the family won't do you like that. I would have much rather she had done what my god sister did. Just say, "Woo, that's too much." Pebbles. Okay, they're gonna fix it, and it's gonna be just fine. I'm so happy to see you in the room. We're talking about choices, making intentional choices. So you also have to, like, in the choice to become a content creator, after so many people said for so many years, Kitty, you ought to, Kitty, you ought to, Kitty, you ought to. And you're so patient when it comes to teaching crochet. You should get you a channel and you should teach crochet. Well, guys, I don't mind doing tutorials and I don't mind showing the stitches that I have created. I don't mind that at all. But to only do that, that's not me. Like I said, my niche is making these, but I don't mind sharing that. I don't mind crocheting with someone. I don't mind showing you how I make my market bags, how I make the fitted hood. I don't. All of that it's a plus to me, but it's not something that I want to limit my channel to. I love having discussions with you all, even when I'm losing my voice and my mouth is so dry. It feels like I'm chewing on cotton. That's all those peanuts I ate. And I didn't bring an extra bottle of water in here, but it's okay because when I'm done, I will have the bottle of water. But yes, and Pebbles, one of the things that I asked is that you write in the comments for me 2 choices that you've made today. You know, but yeah, like I said, every decision that we make comes with a consequence. When the cousin decided she was not going to make payments 2 through 4, I now have a blanket and 2 shams because I can't put that amount of work in and not get paid for it. So what I ended up doing, what I found myself doing a lot of, was donating blankets, knowing that I spend a lot of time in hospitals. I used to have a tote in the trunk of my car that every time I made a blanket, I would throw it in that tote. And whenever I would get wheeled out to my car, upon being released, I would let the nurse go in and pick out a blanket. Either one, it doesn't matter. Either one, it doesn't matter. I know that another choice that I have made recently is that I have not completed my luck of the draw items. I have everything written down. I know what it takes to complete those items, but I had to take a mental break from them. And they're all sitting right over there in the corner. Each one is separated in its own project bag. And as I get to them, I'll get to them. They're just not top priority right now. Um, I dreamed, it's way over there, but I dreamed of this maroon, white, and gray and black. And because the dream was so prevalent, I had to see that come into fruition. I still wrote it down and I was going to do it at a later date. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about with choices, sometimes opportunities present themselves to help us with our decision making. I went into Temu looking for an office desk, actually, because I want to get rid of my tables and have one little space set up for a desk. And the little flash thing came up where I could get one item free. And the first thing that popped up was the other color, not this colorway, but the other one that has a lot more gray in it. And the red is actually maroon and not hot pink. But that came up and I knew that's what I wanted. I was going into Temu like every other day, checking the price of that 5 skein pack. And when it said free, I immediately clicked on it. I was like, this is what I want. So I'm ready to go check out. And then it offered me a second item free, but it would not let me repeat the item that I got, which is why I got this one. I was hoping they were going to be close enough that I could use the two together. But the maroon and the hot pink kind of clash to me. I could still make it work because for some reason I've been on this color thing where I can throw colors together that are like, and they still turn out looking good. But that's not what I envisioned. So it was my choice to get those items free. And I felt like with the opportunity being presented the way it was, then maybe there was a message in that. Maybe this was something that I needed to do. Maybe, and I'm finding it so simple to go through this. I'm not feeling any pullback, any setback. It's just it's fun. Um, I know the purpose of it, but it's just fun to me. It's fun to me. I can't wait to get started on that one. I can but can't. Um, that one's going to be a slightly larger project. It's going to take time, and I know what I want to do with it. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, yeah. But yes, from this day forth, those of us that don't try really, really hard to make intentional choices. Michelle and I keep a lot of notes. Mind you, I started my note taking for this session 5 minutes before I went live, and I still got a half page of notes. I find that taking the time to write the notes gives me the opportunity to breathe and think about it and to organize it in my mind. I'm already writing these things down. So after I've organized it in my mind, I can go back and look at the paper and tweak the organization. And then you can move forward from there. A lot of things that we face in life or do in life um, don't turn out to our advantage because we've not thought it all the way through and we've not taken the time to prioritize. So keep those in mind. Try taking notes. If you want to use others to guide your decision making, that's fine, or give you advice. But ultimately, understand, know, and believe that the ultimate decision is yours to make. You have to make that decision. You have to be comfortable with the outcome. You have to be prepared for whatever the consequence is, if there's a negative consequence or if it's a positive consequence. So, all of those are things to keep in mind. And I just want all of us to enjoy this life's journey. Just enjoy this life's journey, whatever your craft may be, whatever your calling may be. And don't think that it's just one. Please, please don't limit yourself. Oh my goodness, we might talk about that altogether, something different, because we're coming in on 48 minutes. But do not limit yourself. Um, Another decision that I made in my life, what I really wanted to do, I wanted to sing. I love to sing. And I kind of went into it, but we went to lay the tracks to an album that I was doing backup and a rap on. And I got to the establishment at 12:30, like I was told to. And we didn't start laying tracks until 9 o'clock that night. So I'm sitting there. At one point I got hungry and I went to get something to eat, which my manager got real upset with me because of that. And he's like, I don't want you singing. Now mind you, I went to get something to eat like 3 o'clock, 3:30. It was 9 o'clock when we started laying the tracks. And he, kind of spazzed out. And then 12 hours after my first arrival, I'm on my way downstairs to the van because I'm ready to go home. And the guy who was funding it fondled me. And I had to get him straight. This 90-year-old dude just felt like he could put his hands wherever he wanted. No, sir. And my manager again jumped up. Do you know who that is? Do you know he's funding this? I don't care. He might be funding the music, but he's not funding Kitty. No. So um all the bookings that I had. And it's funny because I lived in Portsmouth and I used to sing over here in Hampton. And now I live in Hampton. But all of the bookings that I had, he pulled me from those. Um, he kept all my DACs. It could have been a mess, but I chose to walk away. I did. I was not going to be one of those, that came out years later about how I got to the status I was because of, mm-mm, so I made the decision to sing at home and in church and around friends and that kind of stuff. That's why y'all hear me belt out a tune every now and then. So, yeah. But we are 51 minutes in. I love you guys. I love you guys immensely. Please, 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 please make intentional choices. Understand, believe, and know that every decision that we make, every choice that we make comes with a consequence, whether it be positive or negative. But it does come with a consequence. We just pray for the positive consequences. Take the time to take notes, write everything down. It is so beneficial in more than just seeing your thoughts on paper, but it allows you the opportunity to rest. It allows you the opportunity to take a break, take a moment. Oh my goodness. And it allows you the opportunity to go back and look at what you've written and put things in order according to necessity. Try to work on that. We're not going to always be able to follow that. Give yourself grace enough to know that this can be tweaked. Lots of times it is tweaked in life, period. I was talking to Michelle one time and I told her close to the end of the year, I make out a list of things that I want to do for the following year. And then about a week before the end of the month, I make out a list of monthly things I want to do. The day before, I will go into that first week, what I want to do. At the end of that week, I'm doing next week's. The end of that week, I'm doing next week's. And it makes it easier for me to follow. It makes, easier for my family to know what my next moves are and how everybody has to be in place if they need to take me where I need to go. If we have to make arrangements with the kids differently, or, however, just write it down, guys. Write it down and communicate. Communication is key. Communication is everything. We have to communicate with each other so that we know our next moves, their next moves, so that it can all come together like a zipper. We don't want this happening. We don't want the bunching up and the bumping heads. It's all better if it works like a zipper. Just like merging onto a highway. Find your space and fit in. Okay. I hope that everybody has enjoyed our discussion for today. I even got a little bit of crocheting done. I got all the way down to here. So I have been working on it. It's not like I did all the talking this time. When I get away from here, I am going to give me a bottle of water, make a stop by the little girl's room, and then I'm going to start on this skein and crochet for an hour before time to go get my babies. Um, as I always tell you all, please, please, please be bold, be brave, be beautiful, and behave. I appreciate everybody who's left comments. If you're here on Team Replay, please leave comments. Let me know what kind of decisions you've made today. And please share the video. Please, 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 please share the video. I am pushing so much harder. This is my second season in content creating, and I'm pushing really hard. Convince others. If you share my video, it puts it out there for others to subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, and if you've already subscribed before and haven't done it, go back and check that bell. Make sure you hit the one with the dimples so that you'll always know when I'm dropping fresh new content every Tuesday and Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll find me live right here every other weekend, second and fourth Saturday of each month. I will be having auctions of the things that I've made that I'm auctioning off to everybody. Um, I am still doing I'm working with my ASL videos. I'm trying to give you all something fresh and new. And I'm really, really working on those. So don't count me out. Don't think I've stopped. I'm just working on giving you something better. This is all about being better. We're in phase 2 now. I can't keep things the same as they were in phase 1 and expect them to get better. I got to step up my game if I want the game to go higher. And that's what I'm intentionally choosing to do. I love each and every one of you. And I just want you all to remember to keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Make intentional decisions. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Until we see each other again on these YouTube street guys, I love you. Peace.